Hello everyone, welcome back to my J Bird. Now, this is the same game as the last one, uh, Bishop on the Run, Knights 23. This is game 2, but I set the ELO up at 2654. Now let's check this one out. It's the opening's identical except the pieces weren't taken at the different times here. Let's get this one going. C3, F6, D4, E6. After E6, G5, Bishop on the run, H6, I go back, D5, D2, D7, F3. And there it is, Bishop on the run, Knights 23. Now, it was different. We took some pieces up here before, and it goes a little bit different again, and this is a higher rating. This game came to me a little bit nicer than the last one, and it was a lower ELO. So after F3, C5, E3, E7, D3, B6, E5, takes E5, takes E5, D7, takes E7, takes E7 queen, F4, and I love these double pawns here. Okay, we go on, castles, I castle the other way. This time I castled on the king side. After castle, B7, H5, C4, C2, and we'll go over this game then, C5, F3, H8, H3, D3, takes D3, takes D3, B3, A5. After A5, D4, A6, G4, C7, A4, G8, H5, H7, F5, takes F5, takes F5, C6, E7. After E7, E6, takes G8, takes G8, F1, G6, D1, E6, F4, E8, G8, E7, G4, G6, H4, takes E5, H3, G5, check takes H6, takes H6, takes A6, A6 takes, and F2, G7, B3, E4, H3, F6, after F6, G4, F7, F3, B5, takes B5, takes B5, C4, C6, takes D5, takes D5, G5, F5, D1, F4, D3 takes, E3, King E1, E5, H4, F5, H5, takes G5, H6, H5, takes E3, F6, after F6, check B6, G5, H7, takes H7, queenie check, D8, H6, takes D5, A7, F2, after F2, H7, G3, E7, A5, D7, B6, D3 check, G4, D7, A1, D2, check E, A7, after A7, G8, B5, D1, G5, F8, check E, F2, G7, B2 check E, F8, check B4, G7, C3, H7, F3, C1, F6, C7, B6, C1, B7, B1, check H3, G8, after G8, is C8, H7, B8, F1, E7, check E1, E6, rook E6, takes E6, G7, F4, G8, F6, G5. Looks like take G5 check, F8, E6, E8, and that's game. Now, let's go back over this. There's a little bit of interesting things here and there. There was some thinking, but the thinking was moderately. I mean, but it came easier. The opening came easier to me to play the game. And then the more thinking came upon this. Okay, this is how the last game went a little bit. We had some early pieces taken, but not in this one. And I had the double steps going there. And then sometimes you would see something like this on my blitz games too. So, but programs are different than humans, so they play totally different here. And where'd I go? I went up here. Okay, take. I take. I got the double pawn. And this is really useful. Okay, go here. Now, my idea was that why I ran that rook was going to do a rook lift over here, you know, and then some other things came along with that bishop, but I moved back. When I moved back, then that's when I thought about, well, wait, if he ever pushes up, I would take, he would take, I'd take check, but then his queen's there, but then, you know, so, you know, you think a couple moves ahead, but it goes on. I did my rook lift. I got that. And I had to stop that, okay? And the game goes on, and this is like cemented in. How's he going to touch that knight? I thought about this earlier when this knight was down here. I said, wait, I'll get that knight in. He can't touch the knight. White bishop, no pawns to threaten. And I just sat that knight there the whole time. Now here I was tinkering back and forth thinking, we'll put my rook here and go, but he's going to see that. I know that, but you got to do some things here. And then he moved his rook. Then I moved back. So I decided to push this pawn. And then that knight. Now, here, it's like, okay, look, I'm ready to sacrifice this knight. Look at this. Huh? He moves up. But then he walked right into this. Look at the knight can go here now. That's amazing how that, see what a double pawn does for you? This is my example. Here's one of the ways a double pawn can help you out. Right here. Through the knight this way. And then now I get the rook for the knight. Then the game continues. Now, do I trade? I'm looking. No, this ain't good. He's just got passed pawns here. I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it. Then I come back. Then he goes back. Then, well, I thought, well, keep the attack going. You know, bring the rooks up. And then I moved over here. And then I'm thinking, well, double up here. And I did. But now he moved. Then I moved over here. Now, all kinds of, what can I do here? Go back and forth with the rooks. You know, there's all kinds of crazy ideas here. Then I go here. Then he goes here. And then that was the point. Do I want to trade the two rooks while I'm here? You know what I'm saying? I'm in this now. And I don't want to run my queen now. This ain't good. So I did it. I got to that point where I jammed a little bit. I was trying to, but no. So then the game continues on here. You know, you make your moves. You're in the moment. You're doing it. You know. Well, here's the thing. You push, he can't take. Because I seen that. He can't take because I'll take his rook if he used it. So he had to get out. And then I took his pawn anyway. Now I'm pinned. But now he can't go here to unpin. I'll take it and it's a check. So where can he? where are you going to go? You know, so I'm kind of safe pin, and then I push that pawn, and then I unpin this, and then I take it. Now, let's see, he might throw a check. Okay, I move out of the way. Now he defends it. And the game continues on. Now I push this, realizing, okay, if he tags, there's a check going. There's things going on. You know, it's almost like in some of my openings, I like pushing pawns, and you create a position. But he used the rook, and I kept going. So now he goes there. Where'd I move? Here to protect that. He moves, but then I get the check. See, now we play this game. It goes on. Then I push the pawn, and then I throw another check. And I thought about, I think I've seen that sooner, depending what he would do. See, it was just all depending what he would do. But you always look for the checks. That's the key to this game, looking for the checks. And then I end up taking another piece. And it's like, I can handle this. You know, what's he going to do? He'll get a couple checks in, and now I got to be careful. I keep him under check all the time. And then move the pawn. Throw another check. Keep him in check. I went behind the passed pawn. Throw him in another check. I thought about pushing the pawn up then and there, and threw him in another check. And see what he would do. Okay, he moved here. I pushed the pawn, but now he can't go here because he goes back, and I go again. But now watch. Throw a check. It was perfect. Check, and I'm going back here. He has to go back anyway. He's stuck. So that's another thing. Keeping him pinned like this. If anytime you got pieces like a queen over a rook like that, always run the king and try to pin his king down and make it worthless. Because remember, the queen is more powerful than the rook. And it can run all the way around. So you'll keep him in better check than he could ever do with that rook. And then the game goes on. And he didn't even trade then, but then I forced him. And now it's a simple end game. And that's it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for stopping by. We'll have some more for you.